Let's talk about anger. Hi, I'm Jon Winkelman, your spiritual fitness coach for today. Almost every time we see anger in Scripture, it leads to someone doing something. The warnings against anger often include an admonition not to do something. For example, Psalm 4:4 and Ephesians 4:26 both tell us this: be angry and do not sin. The implication of this phrase is that when we are angry, we are tempted to do something. In the very beginning of history, when Cain killed Abel, anger was at the root. Scientifically speaking, when we get angry, our body goes into fight or flight mode. The blood moves away from our brains and into our muscles. This physical reality can make us act without thought. Let me give you a perfect example from Scripture. In the book of Exodus, the nation of Israel has finally escaped slavery in Egypt. They have watched God provide in miraculous ways. He opened the Red Sea. He fed them with the food of angels. And He led them with pillars of cloud and fire. In Exodus 24, God commands Moses to come up to Him on the mountain and receive the tablets of stone on which God Himself has written His commands. Moses goes up to the mountain, he spends time with God, and he receives these tablets. While Moses is on the mountain, the Israelites, led by Moses' own brother Aaron, do something foolish. They make a false idol, a calf, and begin singing, dancing, and worshiping this false god they have made. God tells Moses what they are doing and sends him back down the mountain. Now let's read what Moses does when he gets down the mountain. Exodus chapter 32, verse 19. And as soon as he came near the camp and saw the calf and the dancing, Moses' anger burned hot, and he threw the tablets out of his hands and broke them at the foot of the mountain. Oops. Big oops. On one hand, we can understand why Moses would be upset. I mean, here he is, getting instructions from God Himself, and the people are specifically and deliberately engaging in the worship of a false god. Moses had every reason to be angry. And yet, in his anger, he took tablets that God had written on, and he smashed them. I think Moses had his fight or flight response kick in, and the decreased flow of blood to his brain caused him to make a foolish decision. What should Moses have done? What should we do when we have moments like this? Now, let's talk about these boxing gloves and these running shoes. Because our fight or flight response moves blood to our muscles, what should we do, right? I think that we should use them. Several years ago, I bought a punching bag and boxing gloves for our family. When one of us would get really angry, we would put on the gloves and we would go and punch the bag. It was a great way to let out the anger and frustration in a way that didn't harm anything. Another option is go running. Take the extra energy that your brain is giving you and go and use it. Anger isn't wrong, but it can lead us to places that are. What I am proposing is this: when you are angry, take that anger and turn it into action. Don't smash the tablets. Punch a boxing bag. Don't do something foolish. Go for a run. There are ways that we can take our anger and channel it into something that isn't destructive. Anger pushes us to act. Let's make sure we act in positive ways. When we do, we will win over anger. Now go and win today.